So where are we at? So we have 5 more minutes. How fun will this be if I teach the whole class and the whole time I'm thinking you can see and hear me and you can't? So I think that today's focus will be on not only finding bliss today, but just finding some joy in the struggle. Thankfully, you'll let me know if I disappear. Well, thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on some of the cues and some of the prompts. All right, so a couple of things that I always recommend in yoga is how lovely if you have some yoga blocks. I know that you might not have some. So if you don't have yoga blocks, number one, I encourage you to pick up some yoga blocks if you're able to do so for the future, because there's such a wonderful thing to have in practice. If you don't have blocks, then I just recommend that you try and get something that will function as blocks. So something that like 2 cans or, even 2 things of like rice milk, anything that's tall, even 2 books that are the same height, because the intention of the yoga block is to simply just bring the ground up to you. And so even though you might be able to bring your hands down to the ground, having some yoga blocks is a beautiful way to be able to just ground your hands down so that you can take a different shape with your body and rise up out of it. Again, a yoga bolster is nice, totally not necessary. You can use a rolled up towel, or you can use the edge of the block, or you can use anything, of course, that's going to allow you to pop your hips onto the side of it. Because what you want to be doing is you want to be able to sit on the edge of a yoga block, sit on the edge of a rolled up towel, so your hips and pelvis can rock forward, and it allows you to stack your head on your shoulders, on your hips, and it creates that alignment and the length that you're looking for. It's nice to have a towel or something you can slip underneath your knees so that when you're down on your hands and knees, or you're coming into a lunge with your knee down on the ground, it's something that can pad your knees and just make your practice feel that much better. Find a nice quiet place to practice. Let everybody know in your house that you won't be talking to them or answering them. Place your dog or your cat somewhere outside the room, unless you like to be occasionally nudged and loved by them, which I do sometimes. Today is a bliss practice, which means that you get to choose your bliss. Okay, so one of the things that I am acutely aware of is how many times I don't show up for myself in the way that I need. And lately it's been a whole lot more levity, lightness, playfulness, all of those types of things. And so if you can bring some of those into your practice, some of those things into your practice today, then you'll be giving yourself a huge gift. So have some fun with it. If you fall out of a pose, fall out of it. You don't have to get back into it. If you feel like it, get back into it. Choose child's pose when you want, modify when it feels best. A lot of times when I'm doing a practice, especially an early morning practice, I like to give myself lots of juiciness as I get into the practice. And what that looks like for me is a lot of intuitive moving. Good morning, Karen. A lot of intuitive moving, which means even though I am maybe using my words and using my own body in a shape, in a particular shape, if that shape is a little bit off what you want to be doing, then I want you to follow your own lead and allow yourself to move the way your body needs to. Pair your breath with your movement as much as you can. Oh, hi, Paul, you're going to join me this morning for practice. You missed all the excitement. I'm having to do it on my phone and hoping to God that my battery lasts. So before we get started, go ahead and just dim your lights. We're going to go ahead and start on our backs today. Find a nice, comfortable position. If back is not comfortable, find one that is. And take whatever shape with your legs feels best for you. So you're welcome to extend your legs out into Shavasana. Just relax your arms down on either side of you. And don't feel like you need to direct your breath in any way at this point. If you're just joining us now, I'm inviting you to start your practice on your back. Maybe do a slight tuck of your shoulder blades, drawing your shoulder blades down your back, and close your eyes. Option to open your palms up to the ceiling or to simply bend your elbows and place the palms of your hands on top of your belly. And find some deeper breaths. Letting your breath come in through your nose and fill up your belly and rise up towards your chest. And when it's time to exhale, exhale out through your nose. Be mindful of where your head is in space. Maybe humble your chin in just a little bit, grow a little bit taller through the crown of your head. And if your hands are on your belly, start to feel the breath move underneath your hands. And see if you can extend your breath just a little bit longer on the inhale and just a little bit longer on the exhale. Feel your breath not only open up and press forward through the front of your belly, but also create some width all the way down the side body. And if your legs aren't already long, I want you to take your legs nice and long and bring the inseam of your legs together. Press out through your toes and reach your arms up over top of your head. Interlace your fingers, press your palms away, press your toes away, lift your belly, take a deep inhale and an exhale through your mouth. One more time, press out through your toes, lengthen your legs, take your hands above your head, press out through your fingertips, let your low back lift up on the ground, deep inhale in, part your lips, deep exhale out. Let your arms float back down, bend your knees, and draw one knee into your chest, followed by the other. Take a gentle rock from side to side. Just waking up your lower back, letting your body move in a way that feels organic for you this morning. Take some circles with your ankles. And come to stillness, wrap your right arm around your right leg, and then extend your left leg out to the front of your mat. Flex both of your feet. Take a deep inhale in. Take a deep exhale, drawing your right knee closer to your armpit. Stay for the exhale. Option to draw your shoulder blades up off the ground, bringing your chin towards your chest. Flexing both your feet, I want you to press out through your right leg, bring your left leg in towards your chest. Release your head and neck back down to the ground. Take a deep inhale in, deep exhale. Draw your left knee closer to your armpit. Stay for another breath. Option to draw your shoulder blades back up off the ground, hovering your right leg off the ground. Draw your left knee in, and then I want you to switch. Left leg long, right leg in. And switch. Going back and forth, not placing too much stress on the back of your neck. Keep going, pressing out through your long leg. Draw your bent leg in. You can keep your shoulders and neck on the ground if that feels better. We're going to go 10 more. Opening up, and then strengthening the core and just toning the abdomen as we go. For 6, squeeze in. 5, lengthen. 4, keep going. 3, and 2, and last one, and draw both knees into your chest and lay your head and neck back down to the ground. Take a rock from side to side. Lengthen your left leg long one more time. Let your heel drop to the ground, and coming into supine twist, take your left knee over to the left, nice and easy. Take your right arm off to the right, and an option to keep your gaze to the ceiling or to draw it up over your right shoulder. Deep breaths into your side body. Draw your right knee back into center. Bring your left knee in to meet it. And then extend your right leg. Twist to the other side. When you wake up in the morning and your spine has not been weight bearing for the whole night, it is a beautiful thing to give your body the time to acclimate. So just purposely breathing, moving the way your body needs to move, and just honoring the fact that everybody has a wake-up protocol, and so does your body. So just honoring it, especially when you have a morning practice. And when you're building a sustainable practice, something that you can do for 80 years or 90 years, you want to be listening to those cues. Coming back to center, drawing your left knee in, followed by your right, squeezing it in even more. Option to take happy baby, or continue holding onto the front of your legs, reaching up, holding onto the outside edges of your feet, bringing your legs to 90 degrees, drawing your knees into your armpits, pressing your hands into your feet. An option to rock from side to side. Drawing your tailbone towards the front of your mat. Breathing nice and deeply, full exhales through your nose. And coming to stillness, placing your hands at the back of your legs. So option to start to rock and roll back and forth, gentle motions back and forth. And if that doesn't feel good, you're going to roll onto your side and you're going to meet in tabletop position. And when you're ready, cross your ankles, roll over, and come into tabletop. And if your hair is down, go ahead and put it up. So coming into tabletop position, you're going to make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are directly underneath your hips, fingers are spread wide apart. And coming into some versions of cat and cow. So dropping your belly, lifting your gaze, looking forward on your inhale. Exhale, press into your hands, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Keep going. Inhale, drop your belly, looking forwards. Exhale, rolling back, arching through your back body. Keep going at your own pace, articulating all the way through your spine. Pairing your breath with your movement and letting it be a bit juicier. Maybe let your hips roll back towards your heels. Bend your elbows, wave forward, look up. Exhale, press into your hands, arch your back, belly button to spine, hips to heels. Keep going. This wakes up your wrists, allows your wrists to know that you're going to be doing some weight bearing. And it also gives you the opportunity to explore all the different areas of your spine, your shoulders, your wrists, your elbows, and your knees that need a little bit more movement as you keep going. 2 more rounds. Go a little bit deeper. Draw your belly button back. Look forward, broaden through the collarbones, and come to stillness. Now starting to go in a barrel roll. So letting your belly drop, come all the way down, take one direction. Inhale as your belly falls. Exhale as you draw your belly button back to spine and you arch to the lower back. Take some rolls the other way. Excellent. Come to stillness. So making sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders. I want you to reach your right hand forward, thumb towards the sky, palm facing in, head in line with your arms. And I want you to press back through your left leg. Bring your heel to hip height. Square your hips to the mat. Reaching forward with your right hand, pressing back through your left heel. Engage your abdomen. Look down to the mat in front of you. And then I want you to bend your elbow, bend your knee, bring knee to elbow, arch in, look in. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, curl in. Keep going. 4 more. Reaching out, pressing. 3. And 2. And 1 more. Reaching out 1 more time, creating a little extra length. And then exhale, release your hands down. Going out to the other side, take your left hand, pressing out through your fingertips, palm in, thumb up, and then press back through the right leg. Find the length, pressing deeply through your right heel. Engage your abdomen, making sure your pelvis is square to the ground. Starting to move, bend your elbow, bend your knee, reach in, curl in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, curl in. For 4, for 3, curl in a little more. For 2, last one, reaching out and then curling in and then reaching back out, pressing back through the heel and exhale, releasing your hands back down. So walking your hands around so that your fingers are palms down, fingers are pressing back towards your knees. So stacking your shoulders over top of your wrists, and even the option of bringing your knees in a little bit more. Going through a forearm stretch, I want you to tuck your toes, and then I want you to lean back, drawing your hips towards your ankles. See if you can do your best to keep your front of your wrists firmly planted down on the ground. Take all the tension out of your head and neck. And feeling the stretch all the way down. Coming forward, releasing, walking them back around, and then tucking your toes and coming back to sit, hips to heels. Take a couple seconds to just roll out your wrists. Doing some circles in one direction, then the other, and then pressing your hands forward, pressing back out through your palms, fingertips towards sign. Draw your fingertips towards your face. Root your shoulder blades down your back. Bring the heads of your humerus, the fronts of your arms, into your shoulder socket. Draw your shoulders down, pressing out through the heel of your hands and drawing your fingers towards you. All your fingers are spread apart, nice and relaxed through the face. And then draw your fingertips down towards the ground and draw them back towards you. Okay, we're going to start to move back and forth. Inhale, flip your palms up, fingers towards the sky. Exhale, fingers down. And keep going back and forth at your own pace. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Give your hands a little bit of a shake. Coming back, spreading your fingers nice and far apart, walking your hips back, tucking your toes, drawing up and back into your first downward facing dog. Making sure the creases of your wrists are parallel with the front of the mat. Bend your knees. Your heels do not need to be on the ground. One long line all the way from your fingertips, all the way to the back of your hips, and take some time to pedal out your heels, drawing one heel close to the ground, bending your other knee, and then some time to go in the other direction. Move your downward facing dog the way it feels most comfortable, bending your knees, reaching back into your heels, and then drawing up and letting your heels draw a little bit closer down towards the ground. Relax your head between your biceps, drawing your shoulder blades down your back body. Take a peek forward. We're going to wave forward into high plank, bringing your shoulders over top of your wrists, drawing out through your crown. Your feet are hip distance apart, drawing your kneecaps up, pressing back through your heels. Option to release your knees to the ground. Draw your abdomen in, broadening through your collarbones. Let the shake happen. And then tip your hips back, bend your knees, come back into downward facing dog. As soon as you get back, waving forward slowly and deliberately all the way back up into your high plank, coming forward on your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep going at your own pace, waving forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more. Remember to find your bliss, all the little spots that you can enjoy your practice. Coming forward one last time, meeting in your version of high plank. Everyone's going to release their knees to the mat, untuck your toes. You're going to come down in one long line all the way to your belly. Place your hands beside your face. Pick up one leg, press back through the toes, put the top of the foot on the mat, and then take your opposite leg, reach back, and plant the top of your foot down. On your inhale, you're going to raise your shoulders up just a little bit. Baby Cobra. Broadening through the collarbones, rolling your shoulder blades down your back body. Exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale into Baby Cobra. Wave up. Use the strength of your back body. Exhale, all the way back down. One more time. Inhale, press down, lift up. Exhale, all the way back down. Place your hands beside your shoulders, tuck your toes, come back through tabletop, and lift right back up into downward facing dog. Looking forward, you're going to take your time, walk your feet towards your hands all the way to the front of the mat, into your forward fold, hip distance apart through your feet, and release your head and neck down towards the ground. This is where it's really nice to have some blocks or something that you can place your hands on. Sometimes in the morning, the ground seems really far away. Bend your knees, let your chest fall towards your knees. Lift your hips any amount towards the ceiling. No creases in the back of your neck. Deep breath in, deep breath out through your nose. We're going to wave up into halfway lift, hands to your shins or to your thighs, reaching out through the crown. The intention of this pose is to be in one long line. So there's no advantage to have your hands on the ground if you end up being all hunched through the back. So draw your hands to your knees or to your thighs and work on bending your knees enough that you feel you are one long line all the way through your back body, nice and long. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step back into your plank. Release your knees to the mat. Come down in one long line. Inhale to Cobra or Baby Cobra. Exhale. Release, come back through tabletop. Come back to downward facing dog. Looking forward, you're going to walk or hop, if you're really into it this morning, into halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Option to take opposite elbows, releasing your head between your biceps. See if you can find ease in this posture. Forward folds are actually very dynamic postures. They seem like they're passive, but they're not as passive as we think. You're weight bearing. You're stacking your hips over top your knees, over top your ankles. One more deep breath in, long exhale. And then walk your hands all the way up the front of your legs, curling your body back all the way up till you're weight bearing. Bring your arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pressing your palms together in heart center, drawing your thumbs towards your sternum. Allow your shoulder blades to release down your back body, and just take a moment to close your eyes. Feel your heart beating. Open your eyes, release your hands to the side of your body. Inhale your arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, both hands down. Take a big step back with your right leg. Release your right knee to the mat, untuck your toes, making sure your hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Inhale your arms up, modify crescent lunge. Press into your left foot, reach up through your fingertips. Looking forward, sliding your shoulder blades down your back body. Exhale, bring your hands down to either side. Take your left hand inside your left foot and walk your left foot out to the side of your mat. Bring your left hand inside. Even stretch your right knee back a little bit more. An option to come on down in lizard, I'm going to face you, it's a little bit easier. An option to come on down to your forearms, tacking your left shoulder in against your inner left knee. Deep breathing all the way into your hips. And if it feels good, you can do a little rocking from side to side. Coming back up into your hands, let your left foot open to the left. So you're sliding onto the outside edge of your left foot. Option to place your left hand on the inside of your left leg. Stack your right shoulder on top of your right hand. Twist to the left, pressing your left knee away and looking either to the left or up towards the sky. Releasing, coming back to neutral, walk your left foot in, place your left hand on the outside, curl your back toes, and press back to downward facing dog. See if you can get a little bit more length. Creating some space between your ears and the top of your shoulders. And when you're ready, step your right foot forward to your right hand, release your left knee back down on the mat, untuck your toes, and on the inhale, draw your arms up to modify crescent lunge. If you feel like you're dumping into your lower back, lift up out of your pelvis. So don't feel like you have to swing your hips forward so much. Draw some energy up, lift up out of your hips. If you feel any pressure in the lower back, shine through your fingertips. Shoulder blades down, arms spinning to the back of your mat. Broaden through your collarbones. Find some levity in your pose. One more deep inhale in. Stay for your exhale. And then release your hands down to your mat. Walk your right hand inside your left. Coming to lizard on the other side. Walk your right foot out. Even step your left knee back. Keep your shoulders open to the front of your mat or to release your hands down onto your forearms. Finding some contact between your inner right knee and your outer right shoulder. Relaxing your neck and opening up all the way through the right hip. Coming back up onto your hands, stacking your left hand underneath your left shoulder, rolling onto the outer edge of your right foot. Option to bring your right hand on the inside of your right knee, stacking and twisting, opening up to the right hand side. Taking your gaze to the right, or even tracking it all the way up to the ceiling on the right hand side. And if you feel the pressure into your left shoulder, see if you can do a better job of stacking your wrist right underneath your shoulder. One more deep inhale in. Deep exhale. Looking back down, walk your hands back in, tuck your left toes, and this time we're going to spring forward to the front of your mat, coming into a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Full chaturanga, or release your knees to the mat, come all the way down. Inhale to Cobra, shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, pressing back through tabletop, meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right foot through to your right hand, setting up for a high lunge. High on your back left toes. When you're ready, press into your feet, reach all the way up, hands onto your hips. So coming into high lunge, you're actually high on your back foot. Your heels should be stacking over top your toes. Your hips are parallel to the front of your mat. Deep bend into your right knee. When you're ready, inhaling your arms up. Exhaling, release deeper into the pose. On your next exhale, bring your hands to heart center, tipping forward, pressing strongly through your back leg, twisting to the right, bringing your left elbow on the outside of your left knee, pressing your hands together, twisting open to the left, stacking your right shoulder on top of your left. If you're feeling wobbly through your feet, you just need to have your feet a little bit farther apart. Pressing in, revolving open, reaching out through the crown of your head. Releasing the pose, arms back up, reaching up. Exhale, go a little lower. Then bring your arms down either side. Step back to plank, either skip your flow or come all the way down into your back bend. Inhaling, exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. At any moment, you can skip your flow. You can modify your flow. You can take a couple minutes in child's pose. On your inhale, inhale your left leg up. Exhale, left foot through the left hand. Feet on train tracks. When you're ready, coming into high lunge on the other side. Settling down. When you're ready, inhale your arms up. Reach up out of your fingertips. Find the strength of your foundation. Back leg is straight. Left knee is bending towards 90 degrees. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Lift the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Fingers are spread apart. On your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Tip forward through your hips, leading with your crown, twisting to the left, right hand on the outside of your left knee. Press your elbow into your knee, revolve open to the left. High on your back toes. Open a little more. Unwind the posture, come back up, high lunge, lift up. Exhale, hands down, step back to your plank, come through your vinyasa. Inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, leaning in downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Do yourself a favor and take a deep inhale through your nose and a deep exhale through your mouth. Taking a look forward, either step or hop to the front of your mat, into halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking your feet to hip distance apart, coming into Ukitasana. Inhale, exhale, deeply bend, sit back. Hands to heart center. So couple stops on the bus. Option to keep your hands at heart center, pressing back, sitting back in your heels, keeping your chest nice and lifted, or inhaling your arms forward, setting your shoulder blades into your back body, or lifting your arms parallel to your ears. Wherever you are, deep inhale, exhale, sit a little lower. One more inhale. You got it. And exhale, bring your knees, come down into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale, hands down, step back into plank. Staying in your plank. So your plank might be a full plank, or you might have your knees released. Either way, we're coming into a side plank. So you're gonna come over onto your right foot, open your body to the left. Stacking your shoulders, left arm to the sky. And if stacking your feet doesn't feel good, you can stagger them, or you can take your left foot in the front. Wherever you are, press into your feet, lift up, reach up with your left arm. Releasing your left hand down, step back to your plank, come forward into your vinyasa, or skip it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up, stacking your right leg on top of your left. Lift your right knee towards the sky. Opening up your hip, pressing back through your left heel. Just taking a moment to make sure that you are lifting your left shoulder away from the mat, so you're equal pressure through your upper body. Inhale your right leg long. Exhale, right foot through the right hand, coming into warrior two, dropping your left heel down on the 90 degrees, opening your hips and coming into warrior two. Starting with your hands on your hips, open hip posture, pressing back through the outer left heel. Right knee is opening to the right in line with your second and third toe. And when you're ready, inhaling your arms out to the side. Exhaling, dropping further into the pose. Calming your breath. Finding the strength in your legs. So pressing back through that left outer heel. Reaching forward with your right fingertips, drawing back with your left. Exalt your warrior, tip your right hand to the ceiling. Exhale, reach back with your right hand. Pressing into your right knee. Looking up towards the sky. Inhaling to warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. So placing your right elbow to your right knee, left arm up and over top of your head. Pressing out through your left fingertips. Deep bending your right knee. One long line all the way up the left side of the body. Option to look straight ahead or tip your gaze towards the ceiling. One more deep breath in. Deep exhale. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, windmill your arms down. Step back to your flow or skip your flow altogether. Meet downward facing dog. Feels good to move your body. So find your downward facing dog. Relax your head between your biceps. Maybe you lift your hips a little bit higher towards the ceiling. Feet and ankles are coming down towards the mat, finding some more length. Coming into side plank, waving forward, choosing your variation, stacking your left shoulder over your left hand, coming onto the outer edge of your left foot. So stacking your feet or putting one in front of the other, or place your right foot in front of your body. Whatever you do, press into your feet, reach your right arm up over top. Find some extra length. Celebrate your strength. Exhale your right hand down. Come back to plank. Come back through a flow. All the way down. Inhaling to upward dog. All the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot up and back. Bend your knee. Stacking your left knee on top of your right. Opening your hips to the left side. See if you can press back through your right heel even more. Lift your left knee even higher. Square your shoulders to the front of the mat. Inhale your left leg long. Exhale, left foot through to your left hand. Warrior two. Left heel down on a 90 degrees and lift up with your hands on your hips. Adjust your stance as you need. So bending the left knee forward, and then when you're ready, inhaling your arms out. Left arm forward, right arm back. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Calming your breath. Exalt your warrior, flip your left palm, reach it back. Lift up, bend deeply into your left knee. Look towards the sky. Inhale to warrior two, exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow to left knee. Inhale your right arm up and over top. Reach back through the right foot, reach forward through your right hand. Feel the strength of your legs, pressing your left knee out to the left. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, windmill your arms down on either side. Step back to your plank. Move through your flow, meeting in child's pose. So let your hips come all the way back towards your heels. Knees nice and wide. Release your hips all the way back. An option to take your hands underneath your forehead or reach your hands forward or walk your hands back behind you, beside you. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Walking your hands, staying in child's pose, just walking your hands out in front of you, coming onto your fingertips. Press back through your heels, reaching forward to your fingertips and releasing your forehead towards the mat. So finding some extra length down your back body. Let your body lift up and exhale, waving with your breath. Walking your hands all the way to the right side, reaching out a little bit more through your left fingertips. And exhaling and pressing back into your left heel, releasing your head between your biceps. Breathing deeply all the way into your left side body. Walking your hands back, coming all the way over to the left. Right hand a little more forward. Exhaling, pressing back into the right hip. Breathing deeply all the way under your armpit, down between your ribs on the right hand side. Walking your hands back to the front, then taking some time to come all the way back up. Sitting with your knees together, just releasing your palms up on the front of your knees. Close your eyes. up through the crown of your head. Opening your eyes and then walking up, coming into camel. So option to tuck your feet out behind you if it feels better on your knees. Squaring your hips to the front of your mat. Nice and tall, so you're one long line up your front body. Taking your hands behind your back, fingers up, palms down, almost like your hands are in your back pocket, but your fingers going up your spine. Spin your shoulder blades back. So the first step is to sit up nice and tall, and with just the gentlest amount of pressure, draw your shoulder blades back, reach up through your crown, gentle pressure through with your hands, tipping your hips forward, lifting your sternum towards the sky. And if that's enough, I want you to stay there, but if you have any more in you, you can reach back a little more, tip your head back just a bit, lift your eyes towards the sky. Drawing your sternum up. One more deep breath in. Deep exhale. Then walking yourself back up, untuck your toes, and coming to sit back on your heels one more time. Flip your palms to the ceiling, close your eyes. We're going to go into one more round of camel. You have the option to do the exact same thing that you just did, or if you have a little bit more opening in your body, you have the option to walk your hands back towards your heels. So coming back up, stacking on top of your knees, option to tuck your toes. So bringing your hands back behind you, spinning your elbows back, option to stay here, lifting your chest towards the sky, or if you have it in you, reaching your hands back to your heels, pressing your hands into your heels, lifting your hips and your chest towards the sky. Wherever you are, deep breaths in through your nose, pressing your hips forward, lifting your hips. One more deep exhale. And then coming out of the posture this exact same way you came into it, taking your time to releasing your hips back towards your heels. And if you're somebody that feels some touchiness in your lower back, be aware that when we come into those deep extensions and then we come forward, you don't want to go really quickly into forward flexion. So for example, for some of us, going right down into child's pose would be too much. So allow your body the time to acclimate as you go. Now walking your hands forward, coming back, lifting your knees, coming back into downward facing dog. Don't worry, we're not staying here for long. Reaching your right leg up and back, and exhale, coming into pigeon, take your right knee to the outside of your right arm, your right wrist, walking your left leg back. So there's a couple of different ways of doing pigeon. They're all correct. It's whichever one you want to do. So when I do pigeon, and today I invite you to take your right knee outside of your right hip, okay? We're gonna start, you don't need, first of all, to bring your shin parallel to the front of the mat. It's not necessary. Walking your hands back, lifting your chest, lifting up in your hips, opening your body to the front of your mat. When you're ready, walking your hands forward, coming into sleeping pigeon. So coming onto your forearms, or resting onto a block, or coming all the way down onto your chest. And if pigeon isn't comfortable for you and your knees don't feel good in pigeon, I want you to roll onto your back, coming into figure four. So placing your right ankle on top of your left thigh, and then drawing your left thigh into your chest. Breathing deeply into all the places where you feel the tension around your pelvis. And this is where we can practice the idea of bliss. Just enjoying the exploration of our bodies and appreciating all the different ways that our bodies let us know that it needs support. and that it is supporting us. When you're ready, tucking your left toes, inching your left leg up a little bit, walking your hands back, bringing it on either side of your knee. Bring your right knee in a little bit, press into your hands, lift up through your hips, and coming back into downward facing dog. Taking a second to just pedal out your hips. Find some juicy movement. When your time, when you're ready, lift your left leg to the sky. Press back through your heel, and on your exhale, bring your left knee right through to your left wrist. Whatever you did on the other side, mirror it on this side. Take some time to set yourself up. Create some length in your body by walking your right knee back a little. Walk your hands in, lift up through your chest, broaden through your collarbones, lift to the sky. And then exhale, take your time to walk your body forward. And I always forget to say this on the other side, because on the other side, it feels fine. But if you feel like your left hip is just hanging out in space, give it a try of putting a rolled up blanket or a block underneath your left hip. Just see what it feels like. You might be surprised at how much it lets you level out your hips and explore your breath into your pelvis a little bit more. If you have a prop underneath your hips or pelvis, just take a second to move it. And in your own time, bring yourself back. Step yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedaling out through your dog. Last downward dog in your practice. Pressing your hands forward, lifting your hips to the sky, pressing back, dropping your heels just a little bit more. Breathing deeply in, exhaling through your nose. Taking a time to walk your feet towards your hands, coming all the way to the front of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold. This time, a couple different options. Options to wrap your fingers as peace fingers around your toes. Thumbs on the inside, fingers wrapped around, and then reaching forward with your crown, bending your elbows out to the side. If that's not comfortable, you can take ragdoll, take arms to opposite elbows, and release your head between your arms. Whatever posture you're in, release your crown towards the ground, lift your hips any amount higher. No pressure in the back of the neck. Walking your hands all the way up, coming all the way to stand, one vertebrae at a time. Find your Ukitasana. Inhale your arms up to the sky, maybe a bit of a back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take your feet hip distance apart. And I want you to sit all the way down, releasing your hips all the way to the mat. And coming all the way back into your back body. Setting up for bridge posture. So I want you to take your feet to hip distance apart. Draw your feet and your heels just towards your sitting bones so that you can graze the backs of your heels with your fingers. Tuck your collarbones, tuck your shoulder blades underneath your back body. Bring your palms down on either side of your body. On your inhale, I want you to press into your feet, lift your hips up towards the sky. Take your time. We're going to do this a few times, so don't feel like you have to create the greatest expression in your first bridge. Press into your feet. Bring your chest towards the sky. Exhale, release all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time. This time, when you press in and you lift up, go into it one more time. Option to roll onto your shoulder blades, interlace your hands behind your back body. Press into your feet, lift up to your hips, draw your sternum towards your chin, look to the sky. Make sure that your feet and hips are staying at hip distance, not splaying your legs out too much. Imagine that you have a block between your hips and you're squeezing your hips together. Draw your pelvis up a little bit higher. Press through the strength of your legs. Exhale, take your hands apart and roll all the way back down. Take your feet to the outside edge of your mat. Let your knees just drop in together. Hands to your belly and close your eyes. On our last bridge posture, you have the opportunity to go into upright wheel. If it's already in your practice, then you can do that for your third and final bridge pose. Otherwise, your option is to stay right where you are. It's your practice. Or you can place a block underneath your pelvis and bring your feet up towards the sky. Or you can come with me going back into bridge. So placing your hands down on either side, deep inhale, on your exhale, press into your feet, lift your hips, interlace your arms, palms together underneath your back body. Press into your feet, lift a little bit higher. If you want to come along with me, walk your left foot in just a little bit, press deeply into your left foot, bring your right knee into your chest, and then extend your foot up towards the sky. Press into your left leg, lift up through your right heel. Deep breath in, deep exhale. Release your right foot down to the mat. Take your hips back. Press. I'm with you, don't worry. Press into your right foot. Bring your left knee in. Extend your left heel towards the sky. Lift up a little higher. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bring your left heel down. Wherever you are, release back down. Take your feet opposite ends of the mat and release your knees in. Close your eyes. Take your feet back to hip distance and bring both your knees into your chest. And take your time to just draw your knees in. Let your knees rock from side to side. Bring your knees to stillness. Wrap both your arms around the front of your knees and draw your forehead in towards your knees, squeezing into a tight little ball. And exhale, release your head and neck back down to the ground. Place your feet back down. I want you to just scooch your hips a little bit to the right. Coming into a side twist, you have a couple options. You can take your left leg long and draw your right knee in and across to the left-hand side, opening your right shoulder to the right. Or you can draw both your knees in, release them both over to the left-hand side, stacking one knee on top of the other. And then drawing your right arm long out to the right-hand side. looking either to the ceiling or over to the left, to the right-hand side. And with your knees stacked one on top of the other, you have the option to bring both legs long. So pressing it towards with your heels to the left. Take whatever option feels best in your body today. Take your time, bringing your knees back to center. Just taking a moment to neutralize your posture. And then when you're ready, just scoot your hips a little bit to the left-hand side and take the same variation that you took on the other side on the right. Taking your time to set up. On your next breath, inhaling your knees back up to center, releasing your feet to the mat, and just taking the last 30 to 40 seconds to move your body the way you feel like moving your body. So if you want to extend your feet up to the sky, if you want to release and allow into dead bug pose, or you can come up into shoulder stand for a couple of moments. And if you're ready to just make your way into your final resting pose, you can do so at your own pace. Many options. You can come into regular Shavasana with your feet wide to the edges of your mat. Or you can come into Supta Baddha Konasana, where the soles of your feet are together and your knees are opening to either side. Option to place blocks or pillows underneath your knees. Wrap your shoulder blades down your back body. Open your collarbones to the front of the sky. And then bring your arms out to the side. Take up lots of space. When you're ready, close your eyes. Stay for your Shavasana. Give your body the opportunity to integrate all the goodness of your practice, to honor the movement and to honor the stillness. When you're ready, start to create some movement Start to move your feet, maybe your wrists. Slight rocks of your head from side to side. And when you're ready, draw your legs together, reaching out through your toes. Inhaling your arms over your head. Reaching, letting your low back lift up off the ground. Deep inhale in, deep sigh out through your mouth. And when you're ready, roll onto your right hand side. Bringing your knees up nice and close to your chest, resting your head on the inside of your right arm. And when you're ready, pressing into your left arm, keeping your eyes closed, coming all the way up to sit a cross-legged seated position on your mat. Rest your palms and your hands in your lap. Close your eyes. If you can keep your eyes closed, just listen to the sound of my voice. Take your arms out to the side, palms up, reach up. Gather all the energy in your palms, lifting your gaze as your arms reach towards the ceiling. Meet your palms at the top, look up towards your hands with your eyes closed. Exhale, bring your hands all the way down through heart center. Bringing your palms to your chest, deeply bow your forehead in. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. And just take a moment to send yourself some love and appreciation for all the weight, all the things you carry. And remember that you always have the choice to put it down. That there is more space, more levity than even you realize, and it's available to you. Thank you for bearing with my, yet again, small technical issues this morning. It is such a pleasure to practice from afar, and from my heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. I so appreciate. You're welcome, Vanessa. So nice to have you on here, Karen. Hi, Michael. You are so welcome. Gail, I am so grateful. It is one thing to know, hi, Anna, that we can't always be in the same room together, but we always have the choice to show up on our mats, and even more wonderful when we know we're doing it at the same time. Have an amazing Saturday, and if you're seeing this on recording, hi, Ricky. All the best to you, and I hope to see you again here very soon. You're welcome, Karen. Do something really blissful for yourself today.